So at this stage, got potato on my face. All you want them to do is just soften up. Oh! Look how smooth that is. Can you see that? That's so wonderful. Intense, complex and fruity. Sounds like me. Yeah, I got my glasses on because I can't see. We're going to do a very simple one today. We're going to do sausage and mash. And how does one add something absolutely sexuale to a dish, and how's the other one just complement it? Excuse my voice, it's gone. Don't know where it went, it just disappeared. Sausage and mash. So we don't need to worry about sausages because they're quite self-explanatory. You just cook them until they're cooked. Mash is a big component, but what do you serve with it? An onion gravy? And I'm going to show you how to make onion gravy, or what I call my cheating jus. So the components of mashed potato that you need to think about is water content. If you were to boil your potatoes, you're adding moisture to the potatoes. It's a little bit more effort the way that I'm doing it, but you will get a wonderful creamy mash. We're going to bake the potatoes, okay? So by baking, moisture leaves, we can insert more moisture, be it cream, butter, or milk. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of love, but it's fantastic. Let's get you out of the way, mate. So potatoes, if you put them straight in the oven, they may explode because it has this wonderful skin on there, pressure builds up, explodey, explodey. You can either use a fork, which is way safer, or just use a knife and just prick it all over like that, and then pop them in the oven. So your potatoes are gonna take, what? 45 minutes, okay? It's like making a jacket potato, so we've got time. Now, because we're only gonna do a singular portion, let's get the hob. This is a wonderful lesson in balancing flavours, which I think is the exciting part. Sweetness can come from something like onions, nice jammy onions, so split down, we know the drill. Just gonna shred this onion down. If you go root to the front end or front end to back end, what you'll get is more of a bite. So if you want something to crunch and not break down as much, you do it that way. If you want them to sweat down all the way, then you go across. Nice bit of lube, in you go. Don't be shy, get your onions in. Now all we're gonna do is just soften these down. Pinch of salt. Right, I'm gonna put these on the back hob. Get this one on here. This is the next fantastic component. Now I do this if I'm doing like a roast dinner with beef or anything like this. You've got to think of flavours, right? If you was to have a stock cube or a stock that maybe is a little bit salty, then what counteracts that? Sugar. So something sweet, and we can create this sort of like false sense of something being wonderful and rich and deep just from using a stock cube, some sugar, some ropey old wine. This is actually a really, this is my favourite wine, but it's been sitting there a while. Acidic. Sweetness, acidic, salty, marriage made in heaven. So we're gonna turn this into a caramel. Just don't touch it, just let it do its thing. I know caramels can be quite daunting, but just leave it. You can give it a little jiggle every now and then, see how she's getting on, and we're all right. So rosemary, garlic, just gonna like take a whole clove. That is not really a clove though, is it? It's like the smallest one ever. You go there. With your caramel, what you want to do is try and catch it at this point. So this is just about to catch. If it's doing this, take it off the heat. We're going to go in with the garlic, and we're going to go with the rosemary. I've just turned the heat off completely now, and I'm just going to let that rosemary and garlic just infuse a touch. Oh yeah. Okay, so nondescript stock cube. This is just a beefy stock cube. In with your red wine, be careful. At this stage, don't panic, because what will happen, you'll see it here, is all of the sugar will go solid, okay? Don't panic. Just turn it on, let that do its thing. The sugar will remelt into the old wine and we're good. The onions, softening down, lovely. Super simple so far, everyone can do this. Everyone can do this. So all we're gonna do now is reduce the wine down, cook out a bit of that sort of like booziness. We're just gonna be left with the undertones of intense, complex and fruity. Sounds like me. I'm not intense or complex, a bit fruity. So, with this red wine reduction, red wine reduction, you'll start to see the wine become a bit more syrupy. When you pour it one way, you'll see that it kind of stays a little bit on the bottom. That's what you're looking for, a red wine reduction, because you've reduced the red wine. Now, in goes your stock, or stock cube, whatever you want. Go on, mate, in you go. Bring this to the boil and let it reduce down a touch. That will just intensify all the flavours, then we can have a little taste, and then we can do things later on, right? Here are my onions. So as you can see, there is no colour really happening on them, but that's okay. I want them to be kind of like nice and jammy. They've started to catch on the bottom of the pan. That's okay. So I'm just going to keep these tickling away, nice and gently, part of the Bentley. It's just a bit of a waiting game now. Make a coffee. Change your charge battery. I just changed. Which fucking technical issues. Apart apart from being out of battery, we're in a very good place. You're at your stage now. You could serve this as it is, all right? Now, this isn't very thick at this stage, but it doesn't bother me because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna input it into said onions. These little bits of burnt bits on the bottom, don't worry about it. We can deglaze it using this. The rosemary and the garlic has done its job. And now what you've got is this really sort of nice, unctuous jus going on here, like red wine gravy. It will reduce down some more and we can thicken it a little bit later. You go there, mate. So these are the potatoes. All you want them to do is just soften up. So you can give them a bit of a, give them a bit of a poke. These are good. These are about 5 minutes off. So when these are done, we'll come back. It's a lot of coming back today, isn't it? Just waiting for things to cook, so boring. Look at this jammy goodness. It's almost there. Sausages are in the oven. You don't need me to show you how to cook a sausage. Put it in a pan, fry, stick it in the oven until they cook. Here's our potatoes. All we need to think about is imparting deliciousness into this. So butter and double cream. You go on there, melty melty. Now this is a potato ricer. If you haven't got one of these, you can just mash them. You could just do it with a fork. It's completely up to you. Now these potato skins, you'll be like, they're wasted. They're not wasted, mate. Use these for like a loaded potato skin. The skins also have a load of flavour in. You could also use this to like infuse your milk if you want to. So you could have like a super ubery, potatoey, milky. Wow, gosh. But I'm actually just going to stick these back in the oven and fry them up. They're a really lovely crisp. Ow. Why is everything so hot? Stick them in here. Bit of oil. A little pinch of salt. And that goes in the oven. In the oven. Okay, so with the old potato ricer, do I care about a few lumps? No. Should we? No. Then it feels homemade. Got potato on my face. Look how wonderful and steamy that is. So here is our buttery, creamy mix. Now, all you need to do is just add as much as you think it can take. I haven't seasoned the potato. There's been no seasoning involved yet. So have a little taste now. Look how smooth that is. Can you see that? That's so wonderful. Definitely needs salt, obviously. Right, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of this. It's actually going to take all of it, innit? You can have all of that, mate. Go on. I do just think it makes a superior mashed potato. I know it's a bit more of a faff roasting them, but honestly, the quality of the potato, the beautiful, smooth texture that you get, ooh, yeah. This is your jammy red wine gravy. This is quite glossy. A little, you don't have to do this. So, a little bit of corn flour. Now, what you should really do is make a little slurry. So, I've just got a little bit of water in here, a little bit of corn flour. Now, the purists will be like, oh, I don't need it. But I like the gravy to kind of like, I like it to cling to things. Sometimes when it's like thin, it doesn't cling, does it? Cling. So, corn flour gets activated with heat. So, there we go. Pop that on the heat. Grab yourself a plate. Here is your beautiful mashed potato. Bloop. So sausages are cooked. Again, the one thing I love to say to people is if you're not very confident with cooking, use a temperature probe. Stick it in there. 3 sausages, that's all you need. Here is your lovely gravy. Look at that. Look at those jammy onions before I put it on there. Can you see that, camera 12? Yeah. Oh, yum. Didn't even taste the gravy because I know it's going to taste amazing. There you go. That is one of my favourite comfort foods. Elevated in a simple way. Sausage, which is going to be so hot. Creamy mash. And how to pimp a stock cube. Oh my God, it's so good. You kind of get that sweet, almost like semi-acidic flavour from that gravy. Cuts through the fattiness. 2 hours to cook, 30 seconds to demolish. Your little potato skins. Hang on, wait for this. Ow, I got this mad stuff, look at this. Scrumptious salt and vinegar seasoning. If you like salt and vinegar crisp, it's basically this. Amazing. Salt and vinegar potato crisp. Doesn't need to be wasted. Well, there you go. Look, there is a simple one. Excuse my voice. How to elevate something that is very, very simple and turn it into something quite special. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Excuse my voice. She'll come back. I love you all. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow.